Hey guys, welcome back to my temple. So, today I just want to give some knowledge because there's a lot of information in these books and then in these cards and in this Enochian tablet of air. There's so much information that the average person, if some random person was to just walk into my temple and look and just glance at the eastern side with my table and my yellow candle and my weird poster with the letter T on the top. You know, like the Bible, a lot of so-called magicians or what have you, they will hear the word the Bible and they will go back to their childhood of being forced to go to church and having to sit through boring sermons and having to listen to this old man drone on and on and on about some stupid story that literally has no purpose to your real life when you leave this place. It only seems to exist when you go to this place. And so when you hear the word church and you hear the word Bible, you might automatically tune yourself out just because subconsciously, you know what I mean? So the thing is that Christianity is essentially it's a tool that was created to control people. It looks for people that are down and out, that can't live in this horrible life because this life is programmed to be in a negative vibration, right? And every vibration is in control of a certain emotion. And you've got high vibrations and you've got low vibrations. And as you would expect, the high vibrations are like happiness and glee and bliss and laughter and humor and, just having a good old time and, whatever. And then obviously then there's the lower frequencies, and that's causes you to, a state of fear and depression and worry and anxiety. Sound familiar? So think about it, man. You guys who aren't magicians, who don't have the keys to your kingdom yet, who don't even know that you have keys sitting around your neck on a necklace, just waiting for you to open your eyes and grab them and use them, and just quote unquote use them. But unfortunately, you don't know about it because nobody teaches you. So you are born into a world of poison. You're plunged into, think of it as an animal that's born and thrown into a thing of toxic goo. Because this world, right now, by default, big old asterisk mark there, by default, is programmed to be in a low frequency, negative, vibratory state that causes you to automatically produce emotions of sadness, anger, fear, depression, worry. And this is by design. It is to keep you scared so you don't know what to do. You don't know that you have any power. You don't want any power because everything's scary. The big boogeyman's out there. But thank God we got the government. We got fucking the church. And yes, we got the TV news media to tell us what to do and what to think and what to believe about reality. What are we to know if the TV news doesn't tell us how to feel that night? What should we be afraid of tonight? Who's getting killed tonight? What country is getting invaded tonight? Who got robbed tonight? You know what I mean? Where are the news reports? You know what? I'm not even going to get on that. It's very obvious if you open your eyes. Let those who have eyes see. All right? It's hidden in plain sight. But the point is that by default, you guys are put into a negative state, right? The whole point of temple is this is a barrier of that negative frequency. If you will, imagine you are being x-rayed continuously by negative. Not continuously. Some might say the world is changing. In fact, and it's me and it's myself talking about it is almost just creating that reality timeline. But I'm doing so more for informational purposes than for me and my belief. So with that being said, they try to put you in a negative state of mind. So therefore you project a negative state of mind. So therefore you see a negative reality. So then you think and have feelings and emotions of those negative realities that you're experiencing, which then gets reinforced into your belief system that you live in a negative world with negative frequencies. And then that gets projected to the divine, where you're basically projecting those negative frequencies and those flashes of those random pictures and videos and experiences, and so you get more. But I've gone on this huge tangent. All right, the whole point of this is there's a way to fight it, okay? And I've already explained the beginning steps, all right? And don't even think of it as you're fighting anything, because it's really not even that hard. Like, yeah, you are literally you're literally just in a big old pile of negative goo. But if you just get up and walk out, it's so easy to get out of. Like, these people, it does not take much effort at all to rise in your mindset, which in turn causes your energetic body to then transmit a different frequency, which then you then project a different reality. It does not take long at all. Okay, everything takes a 3-month gap. Let's just stay about a 3-month gap. So whatever you are thinking right now and whatever you are feeling right now, you will not experience that for 3 months. But you got to think about that buildup. That means that whole time during that 3 months that you're supposedly at that buildup, you might be having another crappy day. Oh, and another crappy day. And then this guy, man, he pulled off in front of me. That bastard cut in front of me. And then I went to the restaurant and they fucked up my order. And then this asshole over here can't even park. How come every time I go out, the world is so full of shitty things? You know what I'm saying? So like every day, now obviously that's probably extreme, but I'm sure there are people that really do experience that. So anyways, the point is to not, you need to break the cycle. And you do that through energy manipulation, breathing, meditation, connection to the divine, opening up your energy centers, activating your light body, realizing that you're not the material, realizing nothing is the material, realizing the material is really just movement in such a slow speed that it can be perceived by our senses as material. The first thing you need to know, as I tried to say, reality has 4 elements. It has 7 planets. And it has 12 zodiac signs. And I'm not going to get too deep into this, but this is the basic first little lesson, I guess. So you've got fire, right? That's pretty obvious. And you've got air, and you've got earth, and you've got water, right? It's pretty simple. But then you got to realize there's everything is God. Everything is one source. Everything is this one divine energy. And it breaks itself down into things of a different form, but it's still the same, so that it can experience a new experience other than its oneness. Because how can something experience something unless it divides itself from that oneness? So it breaks itself down initially into these elements. And it does this by beginning to create the element, creating the element, and then destroying the element. Creating the element, beginning to create the element, and starting to destroy the element. It's just a cycle. It's just like waves coming in a tide. It's a sine wave. There's the beginning and the end, the beginning and the end, the beginning and the end. And you say that by saying cardinal, fixed, and mutable. So you've got the beginning of fire, you've got fire, and you've got the end of fire, the destruction of it. You've got the beginning of air, you've got air, and you've got the destruction of air. You've got the beginning of earth, you've got earth, and you've got the destruction of earth. You've got the beginning of water, you've got water, and you've got the destruction of water. And fire starts with cardinal fire, which is Aries. And then it has fixed fire, which is Leo. And then it has mutable fire, which is Sagittarius. And that is the beginning of fire, which is Aries. Is that spark. Then there's the fixed fire, which is Leo. It's that steady flame. And then there's Sagittarius, which is the destruction of fire. It's the burning embers fading away, but still leaving that light behind until the very last seconds. Always emitting that tiny light in the darkness of its eventual destruction. And then you have water. Well, let's go back to air. Fire. And that is your fire triplicity. It's basically the 3 zodiac signs of fire, right? Then you've got the ones of water, then you've got the ones of earth, then you've got the ones of air. So you've got the water ones, and that's cardinal water, fixed water, and mutable water. So you've got cardinal water, which is Cancer. You've got fixed water, which is Scorpio. And then you've got mutable water, which is Pisces, right? So the beginning of water is Cancer. It's all about health and nurturing and, home and caring about. And then you've got the fixed water, and that is just the deep water, the deep unknown water that goes on forever and holds so many secrets, but is so amazing and beautiful, but so terrifying and unknown. And then you've got the mutable water, which is basically the leftover puddles, as it's evaporating, and it's got the leftover remnants of all the other energies, as it waits to go into the ether and become something else. And then you've got the earth, and you've got cardinal earth, you've got fixed earth, and you've got mutable earth. You've got cardinal earth, which is Capricorn, you've got fixed earth, which is Taurus, and you've got mutable earth, which is Virgo. And you've got Capricorn, which is the beginning. It's the beginning of formation of the material. It's the ambition of becoming that material, of reaching the top. You've got Taurus, which is the material. It is the beauty. It is the divine. It is all things pretty and lazy and wonderful and earth and money. It is material. And then you've got mutable, which is Virgo, and that's the the ending of spring. The beginning of the destruction. The beginning of the end of the earth, the mutable earth, the Virgo. All its tiny little details that it keeps track of as it slowly deteriorates into nothing. And then you've got air. Cardinal air, fixed air, and mutable air. And cardinal air is Libra, and fixed air is Aquarius, and mutable air is Gemini. And you've got the beginning, the creation of air, that initial, inhale, and that's Libra. That's the nice equal balance of the air. And then you've got the full air of itself, and that is Aquarius, and that is just air in its purest form. It's just air. You can't get too into it, but just know that it's like, it is the essence of air. It is the beginning, or it is air. And then you got the beginning of the destruction of air, and that is Gemini, and that is just like, it's scattered, it's getting, it's just out there, it's so scattered and chaotic, there's no rhyme or reason to it, it's getting ready to it's hard to explain, but it's wild. And then you think, well, there's 7 planets, and other than the 2 planets, the sun and the moon, the others each have 2 zodiac signs that they rule over. So basically you have the sun, and it rules over Leo, and Leo is fixed fire. So the sun is essentially fire. And then you've got the moon, and the moon is Cancer, and Cancer is cardinal water. And then you've got Mercury, and Mercury is Gemini and Virgo. So you've got mutable air and mutable earth, right? And then you've got Venus, and Venus is Taurus and Libra, and Taurus is fixed earth, and Libra is cardinal air. And then you have Mars, and Mars is Aries and Scorpio. And Aries is cardinal air, and Scorpio is fixed water. And then you have Jupiter, and Jupiter is Sagittarius and Pisces. And Sagittarius is mutable fire, and Pisces is mutable water. And then finally you have Saturn. And Saturn is Capricorn and Aquarius. And so you have cardinal earth and fixed air. And I know this is a bit of a longer video, but that is essentially the first steps of how energy is and how it connects. And the thing is the more you learn and the more you understand, the more you will see that there's even more and more and more connections. And then you realize that there's already a whole law that people already know about these connections. And one of the laws is called the law of correspondence. And that means that things are connected to other things. And these are just parts of those connections. So I want to thank you for listening, and I hope you guys learned something. Have a good day.